Hi everybody, it's Helen here. I wanted to just connect with you all and give you my weekly update for the book writing. So firstly, I've got my computer back and he happened to save everything that was on it, and that's all on an external hard drive now. And I have access to it all, so that's wonderful. In reference to the book itself, I thought today that I might just read a little bit about the start of the book. So here we go. Here's where we start. Before I go into my childhood, I would like to declare something. There is a little girl inside of me. She was severely abused and traumatised during the first 10 years of her life. So I'm going to begin first by taking a hold of her and taking care of her before I begin to tell our story. This isn't very easy for either of us. I want to thank her for her bravery and for letting me tell her story, because without it, what happened to me later in life just wouldn't have made as much sense to you at all. So that's where I start. And bringing up the memories, I realised I had to firstly acknowledge her, that little girl, because I wasn't going to tell that story at all. I thought that I'd just keep it private and I'd keep it to myself. But when I wrote later on in my life, in one of my significant relationships I go into, and in that relationship, I'm driving a car and he completely backhands me and knocks out two of my teeth, and I immediately make that my fault. It just didn't make sense without telling the story of the little girl, because otherwise, why would I behave that way later in my life? So I realised I had to tell her story. And that was my beautiful declaration to her. So keep in touch, keep watching this space, and I'll start to share more of the journey as we go along. Because essentially, the journey is about coming out of the lower energies, the lower levels, the lower aspects of this world that we live in. That may or may not make sense to you at the moment. It may be just the language that I'm using, but we all kind of fall in some way, and it's up to us to start to pick up the pieces and make our way back up and to rise and transcend the lower mind, the lower energies of this world. And that's what my story is all about. And I'm sure that you will find a little bit of yourself somewhere in it along the way. And if I'm going to share how I healed or transcended that part, I hope that will help people as well. So thank you for your support. Thank you, all of you. Please share this out and share it around if you feel so inclined. I want to remind you, like I always do now, that you are the greatest creation on this earth. So start acting like it. My love to you all, and I'll see you next week.